There he is, the channel mascot. Hello and welcome back to the inside of the Ashtoons studio. It's almost exactly 8 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday, July the 21st, 2020. And the inside of the studio is essentially done. So it's time for another studio update. And I'm not going to call this the final studio update because of course there are still more things that I want to do and build onto this, but it is going to be the video where I show off all the new features and all the things that I did to finalize and make the studio livable. So during those 3 months, I think it was March, April, and May, during a first round of shelter in place and lockdowns, this was the distraction. This was the thing I was concentrating on. I think at one point I went 3 weeks without updating at all, just doing the Sunday night live streams. And during that time, I did take some little video snippets of the different building process that I was going through, but wasn't able to work any of those videos into other vlogs. So instead, I'm going to put them all together into a 5-minute long building video montage. And that's how we're going to start this video off. So after that is done, I'll come back and show off all the new features. Just how satisfying is that? And we are back. Well, I hope that was sufficiently artistic enough to make up for at least a little bit of the ghosting that I did during those 3 months. But now on to the main feature, which is going to be just going around and showing off all the new features. This might take a little while. Now this is a good place to start, over here on the end with the balcony. I think we've got a good sunset going on out here anyway, so here we go. Wow, that's always nice. Come on, you can come on out. I think some of you may have already seen this, but I'm going to go over it anyway. This is the bench that I made out of a telephone pole that I split in half with a chainsaw. And I've added wood stain and some Thompson's weatherproofing to the top of it. And it actually comes apart. It's a nice, comfortable bench, but you can split it into 2 smaller benches that come apart like that. So I could set them into an L shape if I had more people over that were sitting out here on the balcony. And when they're together, though, they miss the door by just that much right there. And then this corner over here misses too. So it was like, you know, I kind of custom made these to fit the balcony here and still be able to open and close the door. That right there is not always going to be there. That's just the old AC, the one that went bad in the camper when I was on that last trip. I'm still not sure totally what I'm going to do with it. I might make an attempt at fixing it, maybe cleaning it out. But at any rate, I do know that I will be saving the cord and the casters off of it. Those are some nice casters. Just to illustrate how much I love casters, I've got them on the bottom of this table right here. So this table, when I built it so it could fit through the door here, so I can always roll it to the middle of the studio, and if I needed more tabletop workspace, I can just roll this back in there. You've already seen the grill and the planter box, which I'm going to have a spice garden in. I haven't done it yet. I've been saying I'm going to, but that's going to be another video in itself when I get that done. And then I put this Farberware burner out here, and already cooked on it a few times, and it's nice when you've got your big pot of boiling water for macaroni and cheese and whatnot, and it's out here where it doesn't matter if it's the boiling water splatters a little bit and it heats up everything, so it's not heating up the inside of the studio. So that's it for the balcony. Oh, wait a minute, you haven't seen this. I put up a row of LED lights at the top here, and they all kind of plug into this little strip that I've mounted right there. And so all you really got to do is just hit this switch right here and they all come on. It's really nice. Alright, going on back in. Oh, he wanted to come back in. Alright, so the kitchen sink. A lot of you are probably wondering, when was he ever going to get that set into the counter like he's been talking like he was going to? That's done. That's done. It's mounted in. It's got the caulking around it. And when you turn the handle, water comes out. Now that rumbling that you're hearing is the pump. It's the water pump. So that's how I'm getting my water pressure right there. This pump right here is the same kind of pump that most RVs use, except for most of them are 12 volt hooked to a battery. This one can just plug into a regular socket, so it was a little bit more expensive, but it's nice not having to have a battery here with it and dealing with the gases that gives off and all the other stuff that goes with it. So I paid a little extra to get it that way. So it hooks to the top of this. I think this rain barrel is 55 gallons. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what this is. So it hooks to this pipe right here, which rests right against the top right here. And this pipe right here goes all the way down to about 3 inches from the bottom. So I go through a tank like this about once every week or so, and I think I still got 1/4 of a tank still in there. So we're good with that. So that water feeds to the sink and also to the wash machine and to the bathrooms. But we'll go over that a little later. I really wanted to show this off though. Take a look at this. They've got lights, extra lights over the sink. And the way I did this was a $7 set of lights, LED lights that I got from the clearance bin at Walmart, and then a 99-cent female plug adapter, and then I got this cord off of a lamp that was just given to me that I didn't really need. So now I can just reach in and I can just turn this off and on, independent of the power strip. And so I thought that was neat. It's actually put up there with T-Rex tape. That's the knockoff brand of flex tape sold by Harbor Freight. Some good strong stuff, so it's not going to come loose and fall down. Also, the sink. How much did the sink cost me? Well, it cost me about $3. That's because it was being torn out of my church's old Sunday school hall as they were upgrading to a different sink. And so I just, they said, here, just go ahead and take it. And when I got it, it was leaking out of here just a little bit. So I had to go get some O-rings. And so I got this pack of O-rings that I think was about $3. And now I've got a working sink. It actually came with the drains and everything. And this works right here. It's a really nice, deep sink for $3. Not a bad price. And I got the plugs too. I was able to save those. And the microwave actually came from the old Sunday School hall as well. So this microwave, I went ahead and built this little cubby up against the bottom there that fits it perfectly. And then there's the little space-efficient toaster oven that I actually picked up from my thrift store today. This is the newest member of the team. I really liked that it, even with as small as it was, it fit this little frying pan that I bought it from my flea market in Florida about a year ago. And it has a crumb tray on it that is really easy to get to, so efficiently easy to get to. Just flip it up on its back, pop it open like that. It's so easy to clean out and get the crumbs out of it, whatever. And I was reading on here, it actually says it right there. This was made in the USA. I can't find a year on it to know how far it goes back, but it's from the days when your appliances still had wood paneling on them. I love the way it looks. And so now that's going to fit on here underneath the microwave. And then this soda stream, this little soda stream with the 2 bottles, I actually got that from a thrift store as well. I think I paid $5-10 for that too. So that is actually a different one than the one that's in the camper. So I have one for in here and one for in the camper. And the old coffee brewer, General Electric as well. You might be able to tell I'm a fan of General Electric. Alright, so let's scoot on over here to the washer and dryer now. How much do you think these cost me? Well, I got these from a thrift store as well, and they came as a pair for $75. I was taking a little bit of a risk because they didn't know for certain if they worked or not, so it was kind of a sight unseen thing. But I figured for $75, let's go ahead and take the chance. And I just ran my first load on them the other day, and they didn't skip a beat. They worked perfectly. As a matter of fact, I think I still have some clothes in here that I need to fold. But the dryer is a Crosley. Yeah, Crosley. And the washing machine is a Kenmore. And they fit square perfectly, so I was able to build this frame. As a matter of fact, when you open this lid, it actually just barely misses this piece of wood right here. I think I've got like 1/4 of an inch right here, and it just barely misses it. That was some precise building to get that, where it would go all the way back. But with that space here to here, the top of the dryer actually meets up almost exactly where the wall meets the ceiling right there. So it couldn't have been more than a few inches higher, it would have started bumping into the ceiling. So yeah, it was like it was just meant to be. It fits in there perfectly. They are kind of a low capacity washer and dryer, so I don't think I could wash something like an entire comforter in here. But for the big stuff like that, there's always laundromats. And so for a single person that wanted something space efficient, this is the perfect size, I think. And also, I thought it was very convenient that I didn't have to dedicate 30 amp circuits to each one, because they plug into just regular sockets. So I just dedicated a regular socket to each one and gave them their own circuit. And yeah, I think it worked out really nice. It was a really, really good find. Now, let's move on to the refrigerator. How much do you think I paid for the refrigerator? Well, this was one of the few things I actually got brand new. It was actually on sale at Sam's. With tax and everything, came up to $203 and some change. And so, yeah, that's one of the very few things in the studio that is I bought brand new, and already filled it full of food. So, the freezer, we've got some peaches freezing there. Just bought some ice trays from Big Lots today. So, one of the first things that I did after I got this refrigerator unboxed, got it plugged in, and made sure it was cooling down and freezing, the first things I did was go get a half-gallon of ice cream and put it in the freezer. And the significance of that is that for the past, 4.5, maybe 5 years that I've been living out of a mini fridge, I have not been able to buy a half-gallon of ice cream. And that's because those little mini fridges, that little little freezer cubby hole, it just doesn't work. You can put like little TV dinners in there or whatnot, but if you try to put any ice cream in there, even if you do get a ice cream container that's flat enough to fit in there, it doesn't keep it frozen. It's always kind of mushy, like a milkshake. So this is something that I've been kind of longing for since I got rid of my apartment, was a way to buy and keep frozen a half-gallon of ice cream. And I'm an ice cream snob, so I was missing that so much. And I finally have a way to do it. The ice cream that I chose was one of my childhood favorites. It was Mayfield's Moose Tracks. So I got that, got it home, put it into this little freezer, and then actually shed a tear. Actually broke down a little bit. That's something that a lot of you out there are just taking for granted. But yeah, to have a way to buy a half-gallon of ice cream and keep it frozen, I missed that. And now I've got it again. Alright, moving right along, in the cabinets we have actual kitchen stuff in the cabinets now, not just building supplies and tools. It's actually being used as a cabinet. And then under the sink we have the traditional cleaning supplies. And I have your cleaning supplies under the sink. And oh yes, I have the painting put in place. This painting is not a print. It's an actual hand-done painting by one of my subscribers. I can't remember exactly what his real name is. I'm sorry, I probably should. But I just know him as B.A. Painter. And he's a regular on my live streams and leaves a lot of nice comments. And last year, he came by my booth at the Christmas Light Show and just had this on him and wanted to just give it to me as a gift. And it could not have been easy to make with all the different colors and brush strokes and detailing and layering, and then I think there's a clear coat over it as well. Yeah, this was not a fast process. It probably took a lot of work and a lot of time, and I think he even made the barnwood frame too. And just gave it to me. Didn't want money for it, just gave it to me. And so it's a shell cracker, big sunfish coming out of weeds and going after a rubber grub right there. And I love doing that kind of fishing. As a matter of fact, right now in the door of this fridge, there is a bag full of fish meat that actually came from perch, sunfish, whatever you want to call them. The same kind of fish right there. I got that from Douglas Lake just the other day. And so I think B.A. Painter just kind of knew the kind of fishing I liked. He made that for me, and it's the only piece of wall art in the entire studio right now. Everything else is functional. But at this moment, that is the only decorative piece of wall art in the entire studio, and it's right over the door going into the balcony. Moving right along to the curtains. The way I did these curtains, at least on the pack, it says that they are energy efficient, so that if you've got sunlight that comes directly in, it's easier to keep a room cool if you've got these curtains in place. They're supposed to reflect heat a little bit. And so it actually does seem like the rooms do stay a little bit cooler since I've put these up, so there might be some truth in advertising there. Also, I really like how big the grommets are in here. They're nice and big and spacious, so you can just slide the curtains back like that. Just open them right up, real easy like that. And I didn't do the whole blinds and window dressing thing. I didn't do the two layers. It's just the curtains and a rod. And the rod itself is not bolted into the wall. Because the walls are metal, I just Amazon ordered a couple of magnetic curtain rods. So they just stick right up there. And one of the benefits to this too is that if Nestor decides, yeah, I'm talking about you, if he decides he wants to stick his claws in the bottom here and make an attempt at climbing them, then they just fall off. And then I can come back by and just stick them right back up, and he's not able to get purchase in there, not able to get a foothold and start ripping at it. They just fall right off. And after that's happened a couple of times, he kind of learns and that it won't hold his weight, and he stops trying. And I think he's actually learned on this one. He's knocked it down a couple of times. And over there on the other side, he's knocked that one down once, and he hasn't tried it again for a while since then. So I think he's learning pretty quick, aren't you? You're learning pretty quick. Yeah. And then below the curtains, we got the drawing table. That's right, it is an official studio now. We've got studio equipment. The drawing table is one that I actually used in my caricature booth for the first couple of years when I was still just kind of working weekends out of my apartment and running back and forth. Because it does fold a little bit. See, like that is not attached right there, and there's a hinge right there. So that folds in, and then the other side folds in, and then this kind of drops down, and it's a little bit folded. It can fold up against the wall if I ever wanted to do that. But I don't know how I lugged this thing around for so long. I would just fold it down and put it in the back of my truck, and I put it in the middle of my caricature booth and worked off of it for a while. Then I discovered the French style easels that fold down to a briefcase size, and I realized how stupid I was for lugging this thing around for so long. So I put it in storage. I just dug it out. Now it's my studio drawing table. Something heavy must have been resting on this side right here, so we got a little bit of a crack and it's bowing down a little bit right here. I added this lip right here so that I could put pencils and stuff at the top right there. And this was actually back when I did airbrushing. That actually fit my little tray of paints right there. I'm sure I can find use for that too. It's a little rusty and banged up, but it's still quite usable. And so that's going to be the studio drawing table. Put some lights on it, and it's right here by the window, so it's going to be getting natural light for most of the day as well. And right next to that is the little table where I'm going to have the art supplies, pencils, paints, and all that kind of stuff there. Got your printer, scanner, and then the Windows 10 laptop that's actually very old. I think that one's a good 6 to 7. It's probably as old as the table, really. But it still works. And then right next to that is the Windows 98 laptop that I found at a thrift store. And it works. So I'll be able to use this one to run like old computer games, like Warcraft and stuff on, or StarCraft, Civilization, and things like that, and including this one that I found just the other day, Monopoly Star Wars CD-ROM, right there, and it's got the old LucasArts logo and Hasbro logo with Windows 95 printed right below the Hasbro logo. I love finding that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what this computer is going to be for. And I found this actually for about 25 cents the other day. It is a PS2 port mouse with laser. Yeah, so that is a rare thing to find. I found that for 25 cents. So I was really happy to find that. And the office chair itself, I got that for $14 at a Habitat for Humanity. The computer table, if you'll watch the video where I resurfaced the tables, you'll see that. I kind of pieced it together. The sides were given to me. The cross brace was a piece of scrap wood. And then I bought this middle piece and then resurfaced it. So it's all kind of pieced together. I resurfaced it at the same time that I resurfaced the kitchen table. And that's got its own little sterno on it. With a little teapot. Which I've been making tea. I've actually been making tea in this thing. Alright, moving on down. This is the entertainment center, and yeah, I'm wanting to really build this up right here, so there'll be different layers to it with all the different consoles underneath it and a few different screens. Right now it's just a coffee table. That's going to be like, it's going to be out of there after a while, maybe pushed up closer to the couch. But all the space from right here by the studio area, all of this, all the way up to the entertainment center, that's all going to be shelves right there with all the different DVDs and VHSs and video games and stuff. Still not going to be enough room to really house all of it. I might have to get some storage somewhere else. But the important stuff that I'm going to be like using a lot will all be, shelves are right there. And then we've got the couch. And this couch, like I said in one of my other videos, this was kind of a family couch. This is the one that we used when I was homeschooled, and we used to do our school lessons with, sitting on the couch right there with a dry erase board in front of us, and Mom would do the lessons. And anyway, my grandmother actually sewed the couch cover as well, and it's just amazing to me how well it actually matches the Afghan that I found at Walmart. Right there, you've got the yellows kind of match, the yellows and the greens that also match. It almost like they were made. It was made for a game room couch right there. And we got the bed. Until I get my bed out of storage back in Atlanta, this one will do. And it is basically a cot with a bunch of memory foam layers just kind of stacked on it. It's actually very comfortable, and I found a really good neck pillow too that really seems to be helping me sleep. So that's the bed for now. Got a couple of gaming chairs right there. I actually have some plans for modifying those as well, so be watching for that. And then we've got the closet. This is a roll-around closet, and like many of the other things I have, it is also on casters. So this was a shipping box that when our church got their new pulpit, it came in this shipping box. And it was about to right here. I built the top part of it right there. So that's where the hang-up clothes is going to be in there, shoes underneath, and then regular fold-up clothes on top. And then I've got hanging hooks for, towels and I think, what is that? The bike trip right there. Pack, and this is the fishing pack right here. Still got more hooks, so I can put more towels and headbands and stuff like that on there. And now over here where the floor lamp is plugged in, you can see there's a little bit of a box there with a red light on it. And there's one there, and then where the shop light has the cord that comes down and goes into the socket there's another one over there. And over here where the other shop light runs down the wall into the socket, there is another box right there. The purpose of those boxes are, they are remotely turned off and on through this little remote right here. So there's no wall switches to turn lights on and off. It all is controlled by this remote. So you can turn that one off, turn off this middle one, then turn off the floor lamp, and then turn them all back on, or turn them all off. So with this little remote, hopefully I won't ever lose it. Hopefully Nestor won't, play with it and bat it up underneath somewhere where I can't find it. Yeah, I can control all the lights from right here on the couch or by the bed. When I go to leave, I just kind of hang it up right here. And, when I come back in, it's right there by the door. So now let's go on out. Nestor, no. You stay in. Alright, let's go on out to show off the bathrooms. This is probably the question I'm sure a lot of you have had. How do you use the bathroom and take your showers? Well, right here on the front deck, I've put these two porta-johns on here, and then I gutted them completely out and redid the insides. This is the bathroom. And mounted on the wall right here above the door, little power strip. You turn on the power strip like that, and then you can flip on the light. Okay, now we've got light in here. And the toilet is a RV or camper toilet, and the sink is a dry bar sink. The toilet I got from Facebook Marketplace for $100 when they typically go for $180, and it was brand new. It's brand new, still in the box. And when you go to flush it, it's a pedal flush like this, and watch how little water it uses. Just like that. Maybe, what, 6-8 ounces? Just flushes it right down. And I really like that there's no way for it to clog. It can't clog because it's just a hole that opens and everything goes straight down. So, I mean, I guess you could clog it, but it's not going to be easy. So, there you go. And it's actually porcelain. It's porcelain, just like a regular toilet. It's got a little toilet scrubber there. I'm actually cleaning toilets again. First time in years I've owned a toilet scrubber, and I clean my toilet. So there is the toilet. That's how I use the bathroom. This and the toilet paper is right here. This is the Scott's toilet paper for RVs right there. There's a little tip for you guys. If you can't find toilet paper, go over to the RV section. There might be some RV toilet paper left. And the sink, like I said, is a dry bar sink. I got that from Facebook Marketplace as well. I think it was, with shipping and everything, it was $24. And then I got the sink, the faucet, from a thrift store for $15. And the mirror, I actually got that a long time ago and just kind of put it in storage because I knew I was going to want it at someday. And it's really amazing how well it just kind of fits perfectly in here. And it was $3.99. $3.99. I might have even talked them down lower than that, but that's $4. We'll just call it $4. And I did have to buy the drain brand new. That was a little expensive. The soap dish is actually a tray for screws. It's got a little magnetic bottom to it, but it was on sale at Harbor Freight, and I really liked how it kind of raised up the bottom a little bit right there, and it was the perfect size for a soap dish. And it, it was on sale. And the sink actually has one of these, what do they call that, telescoping faucets right there. So that was a good little find. Those are usually pretty expensive. And yeah, it works. You can hear the pump going right next to us there. So yeah, that works. No hot water, of course, on this either. But it's good for washing hands. Because we all want to do that now, more these days. Also, this gray paint that you see the sink, and the legs, and the floor, and everything painted in, that is a marine enamel. I got like a half gallon of it from the Habitat for Humanity for really cheap. It's a very expensive paint. And so that's what I got everything painted in. So it's a little more waterproof. So water can kind of splash around here. Not much of a chance of it warping or rotting the wood with this kind of paint in place. And it's a very hardy paint too, so I like that. It would only needed to put one layer of it on. Very thick. Now let's go on into the shower area now. And the shower is set up, well, pretty similarly to the way I had it in the camper. As a matter of fact, it's the same water heater and tank. But the catch basin is much bigger, and the space to take the shower in it is much bigger as well. But it's the same shower head and same shower head mount. And so the way it works is I've got this valve that I actually installed in here, so I can fill up my tank with one hand like this. At any point, if the tank starts to get low during the shower, so and then the pump to the water heater is right here on the end of this, right there. So that goes down into the bottom of the tank. And so you turn on the water heater through this knob right here, and you kind of go slowly into the hot. You can kind of hear the click and the ignition. There we go. The shower comes on, and just a few seconds, and it starts to heat up. Goes right into the catch basin right there. So that is how I take showers right there. And this has also got a little power strip mounted up here above the door, and that runs the fan, so that I have a nice little breeze as I'm taking a shower. And if it's dark out, there's also these lights. It's that same strip of LED lights that I have on the kitchens, above the kitchen sink, but this in here, it's lighting up the shower house. So there you have it. There is the shower. A little crude, but the water heats up quickly. There's plenty of it, and It's a nice hot shower in private. And that is it. That is the whole studio. I know that took a little while, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it ended up taking so long. But just know that I'm here now. This place is very peaceful. It's very comfortable. It is a peace of mind. And yeah, I'm grateful to all of you out there that put up with my long absences while I was building this place, and y'all showed interest in actually wanting to know the update on the studio and followed along with all the studio updates. I'm very, very thankful to all of you. But I also kind of want this to be a little bit of an inspiration to you guys, to let you know that, you know, if you're willing to get out there and not be afraid to go to the thrift stores and the pawn shops and the flea markets and, you know, find the deals, know what you want, have that eye out there, have that nose for the deals, and be patient, then you can find this kind of stuff. For these kinds of deals, you'd be surprised how many people will just give you stuff. Because a lot of people get real fancy, they want to upgrade, and they take stuff that is still perfectly usable, and they just want to throw it out because they want something better, they want something fancier, more gaudy, and if you're willing to take that stuff, repurpose it, fix it up a little bit, and it's still usable, and you'll end up with a place that may not be pretty, but it's paid for. It's paid for. And so having a comfortable place to live should not always mean that you need to be in debt for 15 to 30 years. And it just makes me cringe just to think about some of you guys out there that are paying on that and how much you're paying towards interest, and that's not even going towards the principal whenever you sign a contract like that. But you don't have to. If you're willing to make a place like this, it can be done. It can be done for very, very cost effectiveness. So if I can do it, I know you guys can do it. So I want that to be a little bit of an inspiration to you guys. So if you've enjoyed this video at all, please don't hesitate to indicate so by hitting that thumbs up like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to turn on notifications by hitting that bell. I'll talk to you down in the comments, and I will see you again in the next one.